in a bit. He was, I think, most famous for the Rocky Horror Picture Show and Fight Club. He was Robert Paulson in Fight Club, otherwise known as BT. Was his nickname in that movie. And he was also Jack Black's dad in Mary's favorite film, Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Yeah,
she has told us.
Me. Love that movie.
She has told us multiple. It's going to be a wild week, isn't it? A weird week and a half.
Well, we don't know if it's going to be like this when she's in L.A. Because today she's in San Diego, so maybe it'll be different when she's in L.A.
What? San Diego's got different equipment than they're going to have in Los Angeles?
Probably.
It's the same connection. I mean, we hook up the same way.
I'm in a closet.
Oh boy.
This is like a small. It's like a small production studio.
Mary, you were in La Jolla. You went to where all the seals are, right?
Not yet.
The
but
seals?
It is close.
I thought I saw a picture of you like cliffside where like the little park is.
Well, my condo that I'm staying in is right on the beach, and it's.
Were you having a little too much fun in that condo?
Okay.
It is crazy because it gets down to like 40 degrees at night.
Yep.
And I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry. And
So you hear that delay, and it's not even a delay. It's just like a stretch. You hear that
like
in
a
your
stretch.
headphones?
Yes.
Oh, you do.
but
I see.
I'm not talking that way.
No, I understand that.
So it's me. I'm wondering if I should take my headphones
One
off.
headphone off. That's
Yeah.
what helps me because I've had that before too.
Okay.
This is what screwed Poundcake up when he was on the mic at the Monsters game. When you're on that live mic and all you hear is the echo on the microphone,
Yeah.
you start trying to talk in rhythm with the echo.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Act like you're Selena or Jennifer Lopez playing Selena, and just put one headphone on, and then put your pretty little nails on it.
There
and
you
then
go. Or any
act like you're
nightclub
singing.
DJ. That might be a more contemporary reference point.
It got cold last night, and I down to 48, and I woke up and there's no thermostat in my condo. And I was like, is there no heat in California? And because I couldn't find any way to turn on heat.
Yeah, they don't have heat in
they
San
don't.
Diego.
Right, San
They're just
Diego.
cold.
Yeah.
Well, that's why in Texas last year, when things froze, a lot of people in Texas have no way of heating their home.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's insane.
Yes.
yeah,
It turned out to be.
Yeah.
But they fixed their entire electrical grid in Texas, so everything's going to be. I'm just kidding. They didn't do anything. So Texas. By the way, it's supposed to go in 36 hours. It's supposed to go from 80 to 30. So I'm sure there won't be any issues down there. So our Texas bureau chiefs are probably already getting ready. So Poundcake's talking about the La Jolla Cove seals. Is that what you're talking about?
I have not been there yet, but it is close. I guess this condo that they have me in is like right on the ocean. It is absolutely beautiful.
It's amazing.
I started crying yesterday when I got there because I was like, man, I've slept in my car, in Walmart parking lots. I've had these terrible, horrible gigs. And then now I'm like right on the Pacific Ocean playing the show last night.
But if it makes you feel any
incredible.
better, you will get to sleep in your car again.
I know
So,
that.
yeah, I mean,
everything comes full circle.
it comes in waves. You
Right.
should know that, looking out at the ocean there.
But it was still really exciting.
Yeah. What's the difference between a seal and a sea lion?
Size?
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, I think a sea lion is much larger.
Oh, okay. A seal is tiny.
Not tiny, just not as large as a sea lion.
Is a sea lion the same as a walrus?
No, walrus have tusks,
And what do sea lions have?
faces.
So a walrus
Are
has
you
no
sure
face.
you're not drunk?
Are you a marine biologist?
Walrus is just tusks. 2 necks and a tusk.
2 necks. So,
I do sound drunk.
so just just little beady eyes and tusks.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to be going to you for this information over the next week or so. We're going to be asking you a lot of marine biology questions.
Marine biology.
Marine biologist. That's right. Callie Mare is getting hip to the pinnipeds out there.
You should drive past Alicia Keys' house, which was the Iron Man house out there.
Is that where she lives? The Tony Stark Cliffs? I thought they blew that up in the movie, Bill.
Well, here's the thing, Alan. Sometimes in movies, they'll blow something up, but they're not actually blowing up a real thing.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I bet that saves them a lot of property damage.
It really does.
Wow.
It saves them a lot.
So that Tony Stark house in Iron Man is where Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz live?
Yeah, that's one of their houses. I remember that because I went with one of my gays, and I walked the pier, and he went parasailing. I guess that's when you have the parachute over the water. And he was like, yeah, my instructor told me we were floating past that house, and he was like, that's Alicia Keys' house. It was the Iron Man house.
Oh, the inspiration for the Tony Stark bachelor pad. I see. I see.
I think that was
That's what this says, the inspiration. They call their house. So you know that you're rich and have a huge house when you name your house. And they named their house Dreamland.
Like Squifle Tower.
Like
Or
Squifle
Mar-a-Lago.
Tower. That's right. But you have it like officially on some kind of letterhead.
Casa de Cox.
Casa Cox is.
They all have names.
That's unofficial, though. That's just,
I have the
between us girls.
Roman, he made something for me that's got so I have the official Squifle Tower plaque.
Yeah, you
kind
have a
of thing.
crest.
Yeah.
You have a whole thing.
And it's the lady bending over.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, gross. Apparently, La Jolla is like one of the richest areas in the entire country.
Yes.
Oh.
It's
you think so?
wild out here, dude. These houses up on the hill, like you always hear the house on the hill, but there's like mansions that are all lit up at night, and it's absolutely beautiful. But everything closes at like 8 p.m.
And all the people are very friendly, too.
Yeah, the crowds were nice.
I was
the
joking.
crowd last night was nice, but
You were joking that people are nice out there, Poundcake?
Oh, people are awful out there. They are so stuck
What do you
up.
mean awful?
They are stuck up. Like, they don't want you walking past their house. Like,
You mean in an affluent?
No, they don't
that's
want
true of any.
you watching past.
Right.
No,
San Diego's very white.
I was with a group of whites. I was fine.
I think they knew you.
we were
He
walking.
had his buffer whites, and he thought everything was going to be fine.
But then he's like, these houses are crazy.
I needed
I
buffer
seen
whites.
this one on Google Maps.
He's totally not cool at all when he's walking by. He's got giant bird-watching binoculars just walking up to people's front doors.
I wasn't walking up to the front door. I was walking past her house. There are mansions, which is bananas to me. There are huge mega
But you
mansions.
have seen mansions before.
But
Not
listen,
like
You're on
this.
Zillow all the time.
there were mega mansions just just on the street right next to the beach, and it has a sidewalk in front of it. There was no gate. There is no steps. There is the sidewalk and then someone's door, and we are walking past the house, and they have the windows and the blinds wide open. So
It's because they assume that people are going to be cool walking by.
I'm walking down the street, and I looked. I didn't stare, but I looked as I walked past, and they said, when someone screamed out, they're like, "Buddy, public sidewalks that way." I'm like, you bitch, you don't own the sidewalk. Turns out he did.
He did.
He did.
That's
own the
why he
sidewalk.
specified public
Okay,
sidewalk.
so you were trespassing.
Right.
I wasn't trespassing. It was a regular sidewalk. It didn't look any different than the rest of the
No,
sidewalk.
but it was a private sidewalk was the point.
There was no sign that said public sidewalk.
Hey, at least he called you buddy.
But
You never know what they're going to hurl out at
he
you.
said buddy and pointed to get my ass to the other side of the street. Where the beach was. So, Mary, if you're walking down that La Jolla beach, that one big strip, other side.
Why would you be across the street from the beach anyway? You walk along the beach.
We just were walking. We didn't.
Huh.
We were on that side originally, and then we walked on the other side.
Yeah, I
because we were-
understand. But you understand the concept of private property.
It was a sidewalk.
I
Alan.
bet you missed a sign that
There was
said
no sign.
private property. Okay, but then the guy tells you, and did you like huff off or did you?
We
did
looked
you-
at him and kept walking on the same side of the street. Arrest me, buddy. Why? What do you want me to do?
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to cross the street in the middle of traffic.
Wow.
But
That-
I haven't
I'll tell
had
you what.
any interactions like that.
Poundcake
People
will
have
do
been
a
very sweet.
Poundcake will do a lot of things, but he will not jaywalk.
No, he won't do that.
I'll just gay walk.
He will gay walk. He will not jaywalk. Right. Let me give you some money here. It's $1,000. All right. You can buy your own sidewalk with that chunk of change. It's $1,000. A chance for you to go fund yourself. About 30 past every hour coming up right now. So listen closely and good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword thanks at WMMS.com. That's thanks. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Cavaliers are off tonight, but they are back home tomorrow night to play the Thunder. I wonder if they play that stupid Imagine Dragons song at Thunder home games. I bet they do. Of course they do. You're right.
They probably play that, and they probably play Thunderstruck.
Well, that's a great song.
It is a great song.
Anyway, Thunder, Cavs at the Romo Fijo tomorrow night. That's an 8 o'clock tip. Keep in mind all this month, you can use the promo code HOOPS appropriately enough. And that'll get you 20% off whatever you get over at CLE Clothing Company. They just dropped a new piece of MMS merch. Kind of one of those cool 90s buzzard mohawk throwback shirts.
Yeah, he's got the mohawk mullet.
Mohawk must always have the mullet, the mohawk mullet. They're also doing something called Community Clash. Have you seen Community Clash?
I've not seen that.
Community Clash.
Oh,
T-E-E.
like T-shirts.
A little neighborly contest where you can vote for the Cleveland neighborhood tee that they print up next. And so right now it's Slavic Village against Glenville. I don't know where Glenville is. I've been through Slavic Village. I don't know where Glenville is. But if that's your neighborhood, you can vote. Huh?
East Cleveland.
East Cleveland. All right, there you go. So CLE Clothing Company doing the Community Clash, and just whatever you get from them, use that promo code HOOPS for 20% off. How about Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick?
What about, are they dating?
They've been secretly dating for a year.
Oh, good for them.
Aw.
I don't mind this. He's got 3 little girls. Anna Kendrick, I don't think she's been married before. She usually dates British guys. But the course of the pandemic has been very easy for them to keep it under the radar. Because everybody goes, I'm sure that would be Poundcake's first question. How could 2 people so recognizable and known keep this quiet? Pandemic. Sneaking in and out of each other's houses.
Yeah, and when you want to keep things quiet, you can make that
do
effort.
it.
Yeah.
And they're both like, they seem to be private people anyway. They're not on they're not on TMZ. If anybody could keep this under wraps, it'd be them.
I love Anna Kendrick.
Me too. She's one of my favorites.
She's so
Is she really?
cute. And she seems like down to earth.
She seems very nice. I find her slightly visually off-putting, but I
Really?
mean,
No, I think she's gorgeous, and I
Well,
think she's
she
funny.
does kind of look like a bobblehead.
I don't mind that. It's just she's in those awful Pitch Perfect movies. And I certainly don't fault her for that because she's got a lovely voice. She's a fantastic singer. She had that Cups song that went viral a few years ago, and of course. But I first saw her when Twilight was a big thing. I never saw that movie, but I knew she was in it. And then she was in this great movie called Up in the Air with George Clooney and Jason Bateman.
Was she in Twilight?
Yeah, she
Yes,
was the
she
friend.
was. Yeah, she, a small part, yeah.
She was the comic relief.
Right.
And so there was one joke in like 6 movies.
But she was the quirky friend.
Yeah.
But she met Bill Hader when she hosted SNL a while ago. And they're also in some movie together, but I don't remember the name of it. But they've been together for the better part of a year. And he was married for a long time. He's got 3 girls. And so they're having a good time. She does all these like Christmas movies, right? Every time there's a Christmas movie, it's Anna Kendrick.
She's done some of those, and she's done the Trolls movies, and so she's stayed pretty good. Like she's working all the time and making that mailbox money because those Trolls movies just keep printing money.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Boy, those are awful. But you're right.
You get royalties off of like figurines, like Trolls dolls. Does she get money if someone buys a Princess Poppy doll?
If she has merchandising in her deal.
Yeah, I think that's something that you fight for.
Yeah.
Like, especially, I don't know as much if that happens with a cartoon character, but if you're Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. gets that money because they're using his likeness.
It's his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Marvel people now have merch sections of their contracts.
Yeah.
Did Tiny Poundcake get merch?
Tiny Poundcake doesn't get one thin gilder of merch, no.
Nor do I deserve any.
Well, you would deserve it, but Tiny
we sold
Poundcake
it, yeah.
we don't sell it. I don't sell things on this show.
I mean, if we did sell him, or would we sell like his clothes or something?
Yeah. We'll
What,
do
so
a,
Tiny Poundcake just be naked back here?
We'll do a garage sale of all of Tiny Poundcake's old clothes.
Well, you the way you do it is you sell the original doll, but then you come out with all the different versions of Tiny Poundcake. You got you got Beach Tiny Poundcake, and
Tiny Poundcake Beach House.
Yeah, you got you got tennis Tiny Poundcake,
La Jolla private sidewalk pound cake. Right.
with scraped knees and everything.
I was just gonna say him like falling off of a scooter,
There you go. Okay.
arms bent back.
There's pants.
Oh, he does get naked! I didn't know he actually got naked!
Pants around the ankles, Tiny Poundcake.
Oh
right
my
there.
God!
Hey,
There you
looks,
go.
accurate to real life.
Yeah, looks exactly like you, Poundcake.
That's what he looks like in a school parking lot.
All right. I had a conversation with my mom about that. I didn't realize that was a commercial. And the one time that my mom wants to tune in, because
You mean a promo, a recycler promo?
Sorry, a promo. Yeah. The one time my mom wants to tune in because she's still angry about Jamaica, even though it's been like 5 years. Let it go, woman. She was like, I tuned in.
Did you tell her these things, or are you telling her now through us? Did you say these things to her?
Yes.
I bet you didn't.
Because she be tripping.
You told your mom, get over it, woman?
Teresa be tripping, y'all.
I did say she'd be tripping. She's like, well, I was just curious, were you having sex in a school? And why would you be a sex offender? I'm like, I'm not a sex offender. I was saying if I got caught. She's like, but why would you get caught having sex in school? I was like, because the church and the graveyard.
School parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Not in the school.
Well, at least
so she was confused.
if you were a sex offender, you'd have Mary on your side.
She's a sex defender.
It's my job, man.
The best sex defense is a good sex offense. And so, how did this argument with your mother resolve itself?
She's back to not listening again.
Well, good. That's what I prefer. Back to not listening
I'm
again.
not listening anymore. Every time I turn on, y'all on some BS. I'm like, Mom, I didn't have sex in a school parking lot. I did it in a graveyard. And she's like, that's okay.
It's better.
Yeah, it is better. Boy, you just can't make your mom happy unless you're a tiny monkey and you're getting gifted over on TikTok.
She said, why didn't you bring him home? And I said, because I didn't want to. She's like, how old were you? I was like, 18, 19. I was home from college. And she's like, so I guess it was probably 19, 20. And she's just like, you should have brought him back. I'm like, no, so you could be nosy.
Why would she want, you mean instead of being in a parking lot, she said you should have just come home.
Yeah,
But if you bring him home and you guys do stuff, she'll get real not nosy real fast.
No,
Yes.
My mom wouldn't care. My mom knows, like, she would know that I'm banging, but she just wouldn't care.
I could see your mom coming in with like the thing of King's Hawaiian rolls.
Hello,
She's like,
welcome.
Cody's giving up the buns. I got the rolls.
Anybody hungry? Are you guys?
I need cookies.
Are you guys working up an appetite in here? I've got lemonade. If anybody wants that,
My mom is too
probably
progressive.
burning a lot of calories in here. Your mom what?
My mom is too progressive to the fact that she would be like, okay, so when are you going to marry my son and give me grandbabies? Like,
That sounds very progressive.
the guy walks out of my house with his hair all like undid, after I just laid it down, and she's going to be talking about when you going to give me grandbabies and marry.
Well, she has a one-track mind, doesn't she?
That's all she cares about.
Just wants the grandbabies.
She doesn't even care about like my well-being. She's like, so when are you going to settle down? I'm like, when I get my mental health together. She's like, I do have a huge penis. Well, maybe a husband can help that. I'm like, what? A husband's not going to help my mental health.
But doesn't she already have grandbabies with your brother?
She has one.
How many does she want? Usually when somebody's like that laser focused on it, that one, that's fine.
My mom has 12 and still asks me if I'm going to have babies.
Right, well, but that's probably just she's asking. She doesn't.
No, she wants her to have babies.
She wants
Really?
it. I'm like, you have 12 grandkids. Like, how many
God.
do you need?
What's this child addiction? I don't get
know.
it. 12
For some people,
grandkids.
they're really only their focus. So they just go, my job was to raise children. Now I'm a grandma. They're getting older. I need new ones in the pack. Because that makes them feel like they're, well, it's more fun, I think, to be a grandparent. And I think there's also, it's your life for so long. And you go, it makes you feel loved and valued.
Do you think it's because even though with 12 grandchildren, that still means that your mom has a number of storage units unaccounted for?
Dude, if she has a storage unit for every grandkid, we are in serious trouble.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe she knows something you don't know.
And also, she'd be a millionaire if she's paying that much a month. 17 storage units.
Yeah, well, who knows? People find money for the things that they desperately want, right? They find money for the things they want. You said that she still pays for a bunch of them.
She pays for 5.
5?
One for each of us.
Wow.
Now,
For when she dies.
But doesn't she have one for herself, too?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I know it probably gets filled up. I wonder how many
I bet she
has.
doesn't have one for herself. I bet she has
does.
6 for herself.
Okay, yeah.
So it's, okay.
Are they all in the same place, or are
No,
they scattered?
they're all in different cities. One's in Berea, one's in Westlake,
Different
one's in
cities.
Cleveland. Seriously, we don't know whose is whose.
Well, sure, so that nobody can take control of all of them. They're all spread out.
Yeah, like the stones in that guy's
Mm-hmm.
glove. What's that movie you like? The Snap Guy?
Thanos?
Yeah.
Yes.
The snap guy.
The snap guy with his glove.
Purple Snap Guy.
I think you should call your mom's bluff, Cody, and bring a dude home while she's sleeping.
I would say it's not a factor now because I don't live with her.
No, that's specifically why you do it. Because you don't live at home now.
Oh, God, no.
Mom, you told me to do this about 10 years ago. I just got around to it.
Good thing I don't have like a childhood room, like the house that I grew up in, we moved from. So that I always had like a thing about that. I'm like,
Oh, she doesn't live in the same house.
no,
I
we
see.
moved. But the house she lives in now, I mean, when I do go home, I'm on Grindr just to see what the surrounding area. There's no one even I would want to bring home. I'm like, let me go to your house. Or matter of fact, let me just pull up in the driveway. We do a little something, then I leave. I don't want to go in anybody's house.
Let me just pull up and then pull it out. I got to take a break here. If you want to get a text for anything, 35192 to do that. AlanCoxShow.com if you want to watch live. I think we got Mary on camera today from San Diego. And you can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show.